by security forces.
And you think this president is not attuned to, to handling these issues?
I mean, you have just been told that over 500 people were killed in Benue and Taraba states by, herdsmen who attack farmers. And what has been the reaction of the government in terms of letting everybody know in the country there can no longer be business as usual?
There's impunity in this government.
Impunity is going on.
What about corruption?
And the government is not checking impunity on the part of its own officials and agencies. In the area of corruption, the government has tried at least to reorganize the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and a lot is going on in terms of we're witnessing a wave of arrests. A lot of investigations are going on. A lot of startling revelations have oozed out of the EFCC, of people who engage in carrying humongous sums of money, billions of dollars and naira, in some offices, or former military officers. One of them, I think, was making about 550 million naira a month from one particular account. And that's 6 billion naira a year. And you ask yourself, shouldn't some of these guys be subjected to a medical test? Because you are bound to come to the conclusion when somebody has stolen such funds that he and his children cannot spend in their lifetime, such people cannot really be cannot be said to be mentally sound, mentally okay.
Some people have said
that's what is going on.
The anti-corruption war looks like a biased political witch hunt.
What do you mean by political witch hunt?
Some people have criticized Buhari for doing that.
No, I think this statement is from it's a demonstration that corruption is fighting back very powerfully. Which of them? Who has been arrested?
We've seen more.
Who has been arrested?
More former people in government in past administration.
Because that's when the people share the funds of the country. Did they share with the opposition? Did they share the money with their political opponents? So if you now want to fight corruption, in order to look fair, you must round up everybody, including those who are victims of injustice and corruption in our country. No.
There are still
I think we must be very clear here. And we must not succumb to any cheap campaign of blackmail. And has any of these guys gone to court to accuse the government of maliciously prosecuting him? Nobody has done that.
What about those who were granted bail and they will never allow them go?
No, we have insisted anybody who has been granted bail must be allowed to go.
But there are still, some of them
no. The courts, each of them is now on remand by the court.
Not by the state service?
No. In the case of one of them, who tried to bring contempt proceedings against the government, the court said, the fact that you were granted bail in one case will not confer immunity on you with respect to other offenses. I had criticized the government for not obeying a couple of orders. But the court has said, no, you are wrong. One bail granted in respect of 2 billion naira cannot excuse you, cannot confer immunity on you if you have also stolen 5 billion naira elsewhere.
Mr. Falana, you have written to the National Assembly about the CCT. I have the letter you wrote to Honorable Yakubu Doga, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and you also copied the Senate President. And you talked about the CCT amendment going on in the National Assembly right now. It has passed a second reading. What is wrong with that?
For me, I think whoever contemplated that act, the CCB CCT Act be amended at this point in time, decided to provoke Nigerians.
Why?
Because it is so insensitive, it's so suspicious, and so opportunistic. If a trial is going on of the leader of the Senate, you cannot privatize lawmaking in our country, because Section 4 of the Constitution has empowered the legislators, the federal legislators, to make laws for the good of the country, for good governance, good government, law and order. It does not say, thou shalt make laws to satisfy any individual, which is what is going on. The members of the National Assembly took an oath of office, took an oath of allegiance to make laws for the generality of our people, not to make laws for individuals.
But does it look like it's been amended for an individual? If there is a law that needs amendment and it meets a bad timing, is that a fault? Or?
No. You must find out what is the amendment all about. Why don't you wait for the conclusion of the case? The case in point. Why don't you wait for the conclusion of the case to now find out whether you would need to amend the law? The trial is ongoing, because you must understand what the Senate is doing. The Senate is taking Nigerians for a ride. I don't want to concern myself with the politics, that people have been talking about with respect to this case. But when you lock up the Senate, in solidarity with one individual who is standing trial, what point are you making? And you are going to turn around to collect money for abandoning your duties, and you want us to clap for that?
What is it?
But the most important point I am making with respect to the ill-timed amendment is the illegality of it. The sections being amended have been captured in the Constitution. And when the Constitution, or when any law makes a provision, when any law is similar to the provisions of the Constitution, that law is a duplication and generally regarded as inconsistent with the Constitution. In other words, if they amend the Act, would that affect the Constitution? It's an exercise in futility. Because the same section you are amending is in the Code of Conduct for Public Officers, entrenched in the Constitution.
A part of the Constitution or the law that is waiting to be amended is the Administration of Criminal Justice Act.
Well, that has not been explained. They just mentioned that. We're also told that from, I think, Senator Marafa, he has also disclosed that it's a move to introduce immunity, for legislators or the leaders of the legislative
do you think they need a...
That was abandoned the last time. It was part of the amendment, the fourth amendment to the Constitution that was aborted. I think we are being told now that it's going to be introduced any moment from now. But the one that is clear, is so far is the Code of Conduct Bureau and the Code of Conduct Tribunal Act.
If that goes on, what's the implication for Nigeria?
I have told you it cannot go on. If it does, again, we have had this experience in 2003 when the Obasanjo regime, I think under the Obasanjo regime, when the ICPC moved on the leadership of the National Assembly. Yeah. A law was also, the ICPC Act was hastily amended, but the court set it aside. Because
the plan is to remove the CCB from where it's domiciled right now under the SGF and move it around. That's the plan of the amendment.
No, there is nothing like that in the amendment. I've read it. Two, the Code of Conduct Bureau, neither the Code of Conduct Bureau nor the Code of Conduct Tribunal is domiciled in the office of the Secretary of Government. It's an independent body.
Funded by the presidency.
Funded by it's budgeted for. By the national, appropriated for. So it's not a department in the office of the president. And if it is domiciled anywhere outside the law, it's the duty of the National Assembly to call the members to order and tell you that the Code of Conduct Bureau is provided for in the Constitution. Nowhere is it stated that it shall be domiciled in the office of the Secretary of Government or in the presidency, or in the villa. So if anybody is abusing his office, right, that is the person to report to the appropriate authorities.
Mr. Femi Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria, rights activist, been talking to us on State of the Nation and several other issues. Many thanks for coming on the program.
It's always a pleasure.
My pleasure. 30 years ago, Nigeria was in the hands of the military. But about 17 years ago, we returned to civil rule. A good question would be, are we better off than the military years? There are a school of thought which believe the worst of a civil rule is better than the best of a military. For an average Nigerian, what sort of rule we operate may not matter as much, but how much their lives can be better by who leads them. The nation sure needs some sort of cleansing. Do all you can in your own little constituency to make Nigeria great again. Speak up. Act now. Thank you for being such a great company. On behalf of the team here at Channels Television Headquarters in Lagos, I'm Shinwa Kimbale. Bye for now.